We are talking about the ability to act in harmony with natural forces, the real definition of strength. Gene Key 34. With the shadow of force and the city of majesty, and it's the path of strength. My wisdom story. I was a small and scrawny boy, bullied throughout my childhood, raised by my parents to be humble. I allowed myself to be mistreated. Instead of speaking out, I stuffed my feelings down with food. As I grew in height and width, the teasing intensified. Once a bully taunted me with a stick. To everyone's shock, especially mine, my body lunged at him with a pure force I didn't know I had. Next thing I knew, he was whimpering on the ground. Word got out at school about my physical power. I took the advice of one of my teachers, who suggested I be trained in sumo wrestling. In class, my potential was recognized quickly. I was soon moved into a training stable, where every aspect of my life became highly regimented and dictated by strict tradition. My capacity for self-effacement was praised, and I followed all of the rules in the stable. But I found myself breaking them in the ring. I'd look into the eyes of my opponent and see the bullies from my past. Rage and desire to humiliate would overcome me, and my timing would suffer. Sometimes I'd lose, but mostly I'd get thrown out of the game. One day my stable master reprimanded me for my bullheadedness. "I'm trying my hardest," I exclaimed. He saw right through my anger and into my deep sadness within me. Then he said something I will never forget. "Force comes from the mind, but true strength is rooted in the belly." Then he told me that sumo wrestling at its core was meant to be an act of harmony, a sacred opportunity to embody gratitude and to purify the heart, not to obliterate enemies. The ring was there to provide me with both freedom and the boundaries I needed. Then he instructed me to stop trying, forcing, resisting and thinking. In the years that followed, I learned to surrender myself so completely that I'm now known all over as a dancer of a primal power and pure awareness. I am content beyond imagining. My gift to you. I come to acknowledge your strength and to ask you to purify your heart by liberating yourself from the war in your mind. Be careful not to mistake the people around you for your enemies. Your true enemies are your own misguided thoughts, your reactive emotions and everything in you that wrestles you away from the present moment. It's time to stop trying to force things to go a certain way, just because your mind tells you so. Stay open to outside influence. Keep tuning into the natural world around you. Listen for the flow of life, and you shall tap into it. There is an inexhaustible reserve of inner strength deep in your belly. It is greater than you can possibly imagine. And now, some questions to deepen your contemplation. Are you afraid of your own power? In what situations do you tend to hold it back? Did you ever learn that force is necessary to get what you want? How might this belief still be impacting your life? Have you, or others, ever been surprised by the intensity of your own impact? Have you ever surrendered so deeply to a physical activity, dance or movement that you lost total track of time? Remember a time when you experienced inner strength. Where were you? What happened? How did you feel? Find an image that for you reflects true majesty. Place it somewhere you can see it easily and often. Journal any thoughts that arise. That's it. Much love and happy contemplating.